Okay, it says meeting is now streaming live on Facebook, so we should be able to see us. Let me see if
Hey.
I see us. Are you guys able to see it yet? I don't see it yet.
Yes, I see it.
Oh, well, I don't know why
Hey,
I'm
Raven.
always
Hey,
the
Gail.
last.
I see you guys.
Hi,
Hey,
hi everyone.
hello. Hey, so welcome everyone. This is Shy Panther and Friends. Time is now 7:32 on this August 6th, Thursday evening. I'm just gonna get a view of us on Facebook, and I haven't done it yet, so I'm not gonna worry about it. So hopefully you guys can see us very well. Okay, so the mission of Shy Panther and Friends provide quality and entertaining programming, and the goal of the show is to uplift, to educate, and to empower, and to inspire. And so what we did was a few months back, we started hosting entrepreneurs and community organizers, anyone else who had services or products to and programs to offer to anyone. We brought them in, had to sit down and interview them, and we talked about how they got started and what actually motivated them to do the things that they do and some of the challenges that they face. And we found that in all of that, we helped so many people who were pretty much in the same place, who were thinking about taking that next step to try and realize their goal or their dreams. And you never know. You never know who's going to be here. We have had some pretty outstanding people to come by and sit down and talk with us. So thank you for joining us. And please share the page, like the page, check out our social media at Shy Panther 829. Go to the webpage, shypanthermediagroup.org. And you can also email us with suggestions and just comments or just to say hi at shypanthermedia@gmail.com. And I put some information up there in case you want to help donate to the show. That's how you can do it. All righty. So, welcome. Tonight we have Raven Worthy, and she is CEO, owner of Urban Gems Events, and we'll be talking with her. And we have our regular panelist, Marcie Johnson, is here, and
Hi.
hey, and Clarence Thomas may be joining us. Hopefully, he will a little bit later on in the show. So, with that, we're going to get started and welcome Raven. Come on in.
Hi everyone. Thank you for
I'm
having
gonna
me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you are so welcome. Now I'm going to put it on the speaker's view so everybody can get a good look at you. So when you're talking, they can have a good look and hear all the great things that you'll have to say. So,
Okay.
all right. So how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's been a great day, so I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking.
All right. So, a little bit about what you do and who you are.
Okay. Well, now I'm a marketing consultant and that's what I do by trade. Within that entrepreneurship spirit, I decided to open up my own event venue. Um, that way I can kind of have marketing meet the event side to kind of use both of those trades and talents. And the name of my company is Urban Gym Events. It's based here in Chicago. We were previously, before COVID, we were looking to open up a 25,000 square foot venue. But of course, that kind of halted some things. And we just needed to pivot. And we noticed that a lot of people were needing to still have their events and needing services at their homes. And that's what we're doing. So we started a mobile event venue, sort of like a pop up so that we can service people at their home and bring the venue to them, bring their dream to them, their entire event inspiration. I'm talking catering, entertainment. We have wine experiences where they can have a wine tasting. We can pop up pergolas and cigar huts up in your backyard, your driveway, or the space that you choose. So that's a little bit about me and what we do at Urban Gym.
Wow, that's exciting. So you bring the whole, you bring the whole thing
I
to
bring the
your
party to
customer.
you. Definitely.
So how long have you
Definitely.
been doing that?
We've just started the mobile pop-up recently. But I've been in the field for about 10 years. As I said, I do a lot of marketing consulting for corporate companies. And with that, we have to plan events. And I really just I've always wanted a space of my own. And when I was in grad school, I had a professor ask me if I could do anything, what would I do? And I'm like, I would have my own event space and partner my marketing skills with that. And that's what I'm doing with this. So it's been about, we're recently launching. So we've been taking appointments for August, September, and October so people can book with us on urbangymevents.com. And yeah.
I'm muted. I'm just talking away muted.
I was wondering your mouth was moving.
Okay, so what I was saying is we have to post it up there, urbangymevents.com. And that's pretty much easy to remember, you guys. Make sure you check her out. Now, I just wanted to say you started pretty much from a passion. You said your professor put the question to you if there was something that you could that you would do, and if you could do something, what would you do? And you said that you would do this. So, and I found that to be true with most people who come on who have decided to do something on their own. That it started out of a passion. So
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome. Okay, so we have Clarence joining us. Clarence Thomas, is he connected yet?
Hey,
I don't think he's.
Clarence, you connected?
I can see him still trying to get up there. Okay, so all right, so this is pretty cool. So do you have, how did you, I mean, I guess I'm thinking broadly because of all these different ways that you can provide this service. So was it difficult, like getting a crew together? How did you get started? Because it just seems like, for this type of thing, you really have to have your act together. You got to have people show up on time. They have to know what they're doing, because you have all of this already planned. People are expecting you to show up and do this great thing.
And you definitely cannot disappoint. I really want your space to look like the picture as close as I can possibly get it. So, whichever image, we do an inspiration board and a mood board during your consultation, and we really want to bring that to life. So, getting a crew together, a lot of this, like, my family just kind of naturally have. It's our natural talent. So getting everyone together, it really wasn't that difficult. Now, with that said, we just have everyone kind of separately consulting. So having a caterer, having an event consulting, me with managing and pulling everything together. It just kind of come naturally. So that was a blessing that it came together that way, to say the least. And yeah, so I just thought it would be something, it seemed seamless and something that I could naturally pull from the talents within my family. And I'm going to continue to do that. Family and
Okay.
friends, and just really trying to motivate people to kind of dig into their passions.
Okay. And it seems as if too, some of the things you just said, you delegate well. You let certain
Yeah.
people do certain things.
That is true. I stay in my lane well. I do.
That's good because as we all know, we can become overwhelmed trying to do everything. So
Definitely.
okay, so
Definitely. And that's something that all business owners have to know, that you can't do everything. You'll get overwhelmed so fast. really quickly. And delegating is definitely the way to go. And you have to have people that you can trust and lean on, and that's really going to come through.
Okay, so welcome, Clarence. Can you hear us? Hey,
Hey, Clarence.
I think he's frozen. I don't know. I think he's having a little difficulty coming in. Um, we're gonna. I'll probably text him and see what happened, why he can't get in. But he's probably having connection problems. But we see him just fine. All right, so we'll continue on. Marcella or Marcie, you have any questions for Raven?
I sure do. I just want to say, first of all, thank you, Raven, for coming on. Raven is my cousin, and she
No
is
problem.
she has always been fabulous and
Thank you.
creative. But what I do want to ask Raven is to just explain the business portion of it, and just the three key things that you can give to a person when they're starting a business. Because you and I have had our conversation. What are the three things that you can give a person in regards to business? What's the number one thing that they should mostly focus on?
So it just depends on the key components of the business. But if I would say anything, it would be to write out your plan. Everything, if it's not written out, it's not a plan. Definitely to organize, stay organized, and start kind of pulling bits and pieces together on paper. Even if it seems a little scattered, it'll come together. Focus. You have to stay focused because things will happen. COVID happened, and I had to pivot really quickly. So things will happen to kind of knock you off, and you have to be able to pivot. After that, I would definitely say strategy. Everything is a strategy. Everything has to be laid out with a timeline and a plan. And then, of course, I love marketing and I know the importance of it. So, marketing and branding, you need to be professional. Your website, your logo, your card, your image is the first thing a client or customer sees, and it's important. So, you need to make sure your brand represents you to the fullest.
Okay. Any more, Marcie?
Do you think that with the thing with COVID, when you say strategy, is that something that you put in place at the very beginning? And then when things like COVID do happen to a business, um, as far as business is concerned, that strategy that you've already written out, or that strategy that you've already designed, should I say, does that play a big part in how you can quickly rebound when things like COVID happen or situations happen? And number two, in a business, being that you have a marketing background, is marketing one of the really key things that will draw your customer base, especially on if you're doing e-commerce? Is that draw your customer base? And I know sometimes I know you're supposed to know your customer base, but sometimes that can go to the left as well. And is COVID also a good time to really open up a business?
Oh, those are all good questions. So I'm going to try to remember them all. The first one, your strategy, no one could prepare for COVID. Like, had no idea it was coming. No business was mentally prepared for it because it was a mental battle and financially prepared for it. But you should, based off your strategy and your plan, you should be able to go pull out bits and pieces of that plan and see how you can spin it, because something within there is definitely going to work. You just have to see how you can spin it. Second, I think this is your third question about client base and finding that with marketing. Um, you really have to see what your niche is. What's your niche? What's your unique selling point? What's going to make you stand out from everyone else? Ours is the services that we provide. we bring everything to you, including the wine experience, the cigar experience, and that's what makes us unique. So that's what I focus on marketing more than anything, is the stress-free and the stress-free environment, the stress-free planning that we bring to you. So if I was a business owner, that's what I would focus on, my niche. What makes me so unique? If I was a boutique, it would be what type of clothing am I selling? Am I selling clothing that are going straight from these designers? And is it a true boutique where we only have so many of these items? So that's what would make me unique. And did I miss your second question? What was your second question? Do you mind repeating it?
Oh, I just blew them off so quick. Strategy. I talked about reason why I talked about strategy. First of all, let me go because it seems as though you were looking in regards to a brick and mortar and how you really spent it so quickly and made it mobile. You know, I thought that was brilliant. And this is the time that we're living in as well. So I thought that was really, really creative, and I thought maybe that was part when you say strategy. And two, we talked about marketing, and we talked about.
I think you asked me, was this a good time?
Right, if this was a good time to open up a business in the times that we're having.
Okay, so I have two answers for that. So we don't really know what the economy is going to do because of the way they're pushing out so many different loans to try to rescue it. So we don't really know what it's going to do. But I do think it's a good time to start an online business. So starting your online business, making sure you don't start with a brick and mortar, but start with your online business. My goal is to start with my online business to invest later on in my brick and mortar. So that way I will be able to see if the economy is more stable and ready for my brick and mortar location. But that's what I would do. I would say focus on your online business and save up and make goals and steps for your brick and mortar if that's something you'll need in the future.
Okay. That sounds great. One more quick question. For me, what would you say to me, being that I just started e-commerce? What would be my biggest, what do you think the number one thing I should focus on? Either client base or the uniqueness of the business. How can I make it unique and stand out from other companies?
I would really focus on, like I said, the niche, what makes it unique. I will focus on branding and pushing that through social media, getting people to try it. People love sampling. So making sure they can sample, touch, feel the product, because that's how a lot of products get out. And just so we're clear, Marcella, you have a beard oil that you're talking about, right? So getting that out, I would let people sample it, let people smell it, let people touch it as much as I can. I know it's going to be tricky now because of COVID, but you can also do like sample packs and you can push those through social media. And I would do something like that, like sample selling. And then once I build that crowd up, I will start to push and go into the stores that will suit my product. Naturally, a Whole Foods, you can think of Ulta Beauty, things like that. That's what I would do.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
So, how do you get your customers? Is it word of mouth or what do you do?
Word of mouth is the best form of marketing. I do a lot of social media, so you'll see us floating around a lot on social media. Of course, Google. I do a lot through Google AdWords. Making sure that when I'm out and I'm networking, even though we can't do as much as we usually do, that I'm out promoting the business. And I have electric digital cards that are very easy for me to send to people that I come into contact with. That way they don't have to worry about, taking a physical card because of COVID and things like that. So just making sure I get the word out that way.
Okay. Now, what are some of the things that you wish you had known to make your journey easier? I mean, you said that it's been pretty smooth, but what
Mm,
are some people who are new and thinking about, you know, what could have you things that you could have jumped over if you only know?
gosh. Um, Definitely just knowing, God, I would say just about purchasing. At first, we were going straight for our brick and mortar location, and just knowing more about purchasing and the zoning and everything kind of took me a while, because it is a warehouse that we're looking to purchase and is zoned for manufacturing, and that was a whole nother beast. So just kind of knowing a little bit about more about my area, my location with zoning, definitely would have been helpful. um, I
Okay,
think that was it.
because
The
I
only thing else I wish I'd have known is that, like most of us, wish we know COVID was coming. That we could have kind of worked around that a little bit more. But
Exactly.
yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
because I mean, you brought up something when you said zoning, and I guess these are the type of things that white people always say know your field or know, because if when it comes to entertainment and things
Hmm.
like that, there are a lot of different rules and laws and things like that that will come into play. So let me see, Clarence, do you have any audio now?
I think so. Can you hear
Yes, you
me?
do.
We
Yes, we
can.
can.
Hi.
Oh,
Okay,
listen,
so
I'm getting
yeah,
too old for this.
you what? You what?
I'm getting
You're
too
doing
old for this.
fine. You're doing fine.
Yes, you are doing fine. We all had struggles with this stuff when we first got started. It was a lot of trial and error. And been working to introduce you to Clarence. He's our other, and he hung around, and he's a retired Chicago police sergeant over at, um as a white man, director of training over there, and he was a deputy over there, director of police and fire. So, and he is also very active at his church, and he is a deacon. So, I guess we have to behave a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. Y'all, yeah, y'all got to
Wow,
be.
great meeting you.
Yeah, and what's your name, Marcie?
Okay.
Raven.
That's Raven.
Oh, okay, you're Raven. Oh, okay, all right. Oh,
Clarence,
boy.
I'm Mark.
You know, yeah, I should have knew. I had you all confused. You know, I know who you are, troublemaker. No,
Okay.
I just discovered that my computer, uh, my desktop doesn't have a camera on it. I mean, yeah, it doesn't have a camera on it, so I had to go back to my phone, and challenging. But
Oh, okay. Well,
I'll
you did
straighten
it.
yeah, I'll straighten it out.
You're doing great with the phone, so that's fine. So Clarence, you heard us talk a little bit with Raven. You have any questions for her? Um, she's the owner and CEO of Urban Gym Events, and we've been talking to her for a little while.
Oh,
So, do you have any questions?
I didn't get all of the name of her business. What is it?
Urban Gym Events.
Oh, okay.
And you,
And exactly what is that?
um,
It's an event venue where it's like a mobile event venue. So I bring the party to you, everything you'll need, as far as your bartender, your catering, your decor. We also have a wine experience, a cigar experience, your entertainment. We bring the party to you.
Oh, okay. Is this in someone's home, or they have to rent a venue and you go to the venue?
Right now, we're regulated for COVID. So depending on the square footage, we could come to your home in your backyard. It just depends on the square footage of your backyard. So everything we do is in compliance with the state of Illinois with their COVID regulations. And then if you click on our website, you can click on to COVID, more information about COVID restrictions, and then they'll give you all the square footage and everything as it gives us the square footage to let you know how many people you can have in your backyard or in your outdoor space or indoor space, and what those regulations look like.
What's the minimum number of people that you can have, the minimum to the maximum?
10 to 50.
Regardless of the space?
No, it depends on the square footage of the space. Yeah, because I have to be able to social distance, and everyone must have their mask on. And we set it up even if you have a dinner party style where you're still able to do that, even with social distancing.
Oh, okay. And do you set the food menu based on what the client wants, or do you have a set menu that you offer?
We have a couple of caterers that we use. You can select items off of their menus, and you can set up tastings with those caterers so that everything is to your liking.
Okay. But as far as the cost factor and so forth, the client deals strictly with you.
Yes, everything comes through me. And the event coordinator, the caterer, those are all consultants of Urban Gym. So you don't have to worry about separately paying anyone. Everything is kind of included, and I pay everyone based off the package and the fee I charge you.
Okay.
Okay, well, let me give an example of if I want.
I can't quite hear you.
I
can't hear you.
Let me give an example. You can, if I decided to have like you do wedding parties and things like that. If I decided to have, say for instance, a birthday party of sorts, or just a friendly get together, and I think my backyard holds about 40 people, maybe 40, 50 people. What would you say the cost factor would be? Because I know you come in, you set up tables, you set up chairs, the wine experience, all of that. What would that be for maybe 40 people?
Okay, so you can go and choose from different packages. And one of them we have is the Simply Chic, and it starts at $450. And that's $450 for about 25 people. So we will just add your 40 people to it, and then we'll ask you if you want catering. And if you want catering, you'll let us know what that menu looks like, and then we'll add on your catering service. Then we'll say, do you need a DJ? And then we'll add on your DJ fee. All of the add-on pricing and everything is very transparent, and it's on the website. So you'll know around about how much you'll pay if you just look at the packages and look at the add-on. You'll know exactly what you're going to come out paying. Everything is really transparent.
So if I have a budget of about $1,000, I could really have a really nice, classy event for that.
You can, maybe not with 40 people, with 40 people, but if you took it down to about 25, you definitely can.
So for about, because when we have family things, I'm spending almost $1,000. But
exactly. Exactly. So you can add your decor.
Something really elegant and nice for about a grand. That would be okay.
It's doable. Right. It's definitely doable, and that's a good way to put it, because you can get the decor with the Simply Chic package. It has your backdrops, your tables, your chairs, your simple linen, and it also has some lighting features and things with that. And then you can go ahead and you can add on catering. You'll still be under $1,000 adding on catering, like I said, for about 25 people. Just depends on what you want to put on your menu. And with that, you can probably even squeeze in that wine package and still be under about 1,000.
Oh, really? So
Mhm.
that person will come out and serve the wine and everything? And you said
That
mobile
person,
cigar, how does that work?
yeah. So that person will come out, the wine expert. They will come out. They'll set up the wines. You'll be able to look at the wines that we're serving for the month, and there's a sweet, a dry, a variety. They'll come out. They'll educate you about the wines and set up and educate your guests about the wines. With the cigars, it's set up the same way. We have a cigar expert that'll come out, and we set up the kind of like a booth or a table for them where you do a consultation with them ahead of time, pick the cigars to kind of get to know a little bit about you and what you're looking for as far as cigars, flavors, aroma, all of that. And then they bring those cigars to you and they educate your guests about the cigars. A lot of people aren't really, they're kind of just learning about cigars. And they really want to bring you that experience to you because there's so much history behind the cigar. So that's what they'll bring to you. And then if you decided you wanted to have something even more grandiose, I should say, we can bring the cigar hut to your home and set up a cigar hut where you have a special place with the cigars, and that's where they'll do like kind of educating you about cigars, and you all can kind of gather around and talk about it. So
Oh,
it's a really good experience.
So that's just an event in itself, just to have a cigar hut come out. That's an event in itself.
No, it's an add-on. You can add that on to your event. It's an add-on. It's a separate space. It just depends on the square footage of your yard. So if you have enough space, we can have the cigar experience. But if you also want the cigar hut, we can make a hut in your yard with just like a nice little space.
Okay, so that wouldn't be a separate event, whereas you say, okay, I want to have 25 of my friends over and I just want to have a cigar experience. Can you provide the hut so we can educate ourselves about the cigars?
No, it's an add-on. But
Okay.
that's a great idea. That's a great idea. It's an add-on.
Oh, okay. All right, keep that one under your hat, then.
Yeah, it did sound like it could be a whole event. It sounds like it could be a whole event in itself.
Because some of these cigar bars are not open right now, so that would be I thought that would be a creative way to, kind of keep it going.
I may have to think about that. I may have to think about that.
I think that sounds like a great thing to add to your event.
It does. It does.
So aside from managing the business, as far as how do you manage your time as a business owner? Because I know that a lot of people talk about having children and husband and all those things. So they have to learn how to manage their time. Otherwise, outside of being able to delegate properly, then how do you manage your family and all the things that happens at home?
That is definitely a challenge sometimes because I have a toddler and an infant and a husband. So with that, it's really just balancing and kind of negotiating and scheduling with my husband. Okay, he's out this time, and then when he gets home, I need time to do these things and organizing. So when the kids are asleep, that way I'm making appointments. I'm having calls. And or if I'm up in the morning, I'm taking care of invoices and things like that early in the morning before they're even up. And that's kind of how I'm managing, just kind of organizing my life, getting it getting it together and just taking it little by little. But it can be a challenge. It can be a challenge. But if someone was struggling and asked me about it, I would just say try to organize and prioritize. Use your downtime for your business. I know sometimes we want to take time where we just take a break, but if I had to give you some advice, it would just to really just be prioritized and to use your downtime for your business, because that's going to be the only time that you may have to get to do everything that you need to do. Those 2 hours that you want to nap, you don't get to nap. Drink some coffee and use the downtime.
Wow. So, yeah. That's pretty cool. Well, Clarence, you want to throw something in there?
Yeah, Raven, I was getting ready to ask you. I heard something about brick and mortar. Do you operate out of your home right now?
No, so I operate the social media marketing, things like that from my home office. And then I have a storage facility with all of my furniture in there, and I set up from there. So I get everything, and that's where everything is set up. And I put it in the truck and I bring it to you. And we bring everything to you.
Oh, okay.
So operation wise, just like paperwork and everything from my home office, and furniture wise and kind of equipment is at our storage facility.
Hmm. So you have you have like a storage expense that is part of your business where you actually store all of
Yes,
your equipment.
yes,
But the actual business side of your business, you can operate that from home,
from
right?
my home. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's interesting.
You get
So
an
what I,
idea?
quickly though, what I wanted to ask you, Raven, off the top of your head, how much time in a day should people spend on their business? Because sometimes I want to, I beat myself up because I have not put in at least 2, 3, 4 hours towards my business. And by being e-commerce, it is a lot easier, because I am constantly on my phone, but sometimes I just get tired of being on my phone,
Mhm.
with
Mhm.
Instagram and
Mhm.
marketing tips that you've given me in the past. But I sometimes just feel so bad if I'm not spending 4 or 5 hours, and my that I work nights. So how much time where I just won't feel just like I'm not doing anything. And I know, in the past when I've done business, I didn't sleep. I barely sleep as is, but I didn't
Mhm.
sleep, and I still felt like I didn't do enough. Do you think people should set a priority time, not set a time each day that you do it, but just make sure you take out a certain amount of hours a day in into doing your business? Because sometimes even when I'm off, I'm up late, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Mhm. Mhm. Um, so I don't think that you necessarily need 5 hours, depending on what your business is. So on any given day, I probably spend anywhere from 2 to 2.5 hours doing paperwork, taking care of banking, working on my social media campaigns, and budgeting, right? Working on the accounting sheet. And then the rest of the days where we're setting up, those are going to be the days where I have to put more into my business. So I don't think that you have to put 5 to 8 hours every day. You're going to have some days that you have to work harder than others. So maybe for the weekends, those are busy days. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I expect to be busy for the majority of the day. That's going to be my 8 hour days or my 5 to 8 hour days. But the other days are just my 2 hour days where I can get all of that done within 2 hours. And that's okay. That's one of the good things about having your own business is that you don't have to do 8 to 12 hours every day, and that you can probably pull in the same amount of money within those couple hours taking care of the things you need to do. Yours would be packaging and shipping, sending those invoices and everything off, sending those orders off. That's not going to take you 5 hours to send all your orders off. You pack all your orders off, you label them, you take them to the post office, and you've made your money. So I don't think that you have to spend that much time every day. Not on one business. Not on
Okay.
one.
So
So,
you don't do a full-time job either.
No, when I do marketing consulting, I do contracts. So that's just something that kind of works and balance out for me, because sometimes I have a contract where I'm able to work from home, and sometimes I don't. So that's able to balance it out for me. Working when I have full-time contracts, when I'm not able to work from home, it was still 2 hours. 2 hours for my business. And that's when this business was kind of being born. So I would even take time from my lunch and I would be working on my business.
Oh, so you are employed. You have a job.
I do marketing consulting, so sometimes I contract. This is my business. Urban
Uh,
Gym is my business, and when I do marketing consulting, you pick up contracts, and I'm able to do those from home.
oh, okay.
Well, it sounds like you kind of,
They go hand in hand.
yeah, and it sounds like as far as managing your time so that you can do what you need to do in those hours, you kind of make a list of things that you need to take care of at that on that day or that time, and that way you can just about manage whatever it is in that time in those 2 hours rather than taking 5 hours. Because I found that I
Hey,
do that sometimes. Some days it does require that you put more into it, but the managing the social media and planning for what you want to do depending on the type of work you're doing, I think you really do have to rein it in as far as how much time you're going to spend on it, because it just seems like to me in business, no one's going to wait for you to take all day to work
that is
on
true.
something that you should manage. And I had to learn. I got to get and set down a few goals of the things that I need to take care. Well, prioritize basically,
Hmm.
and then that will help me manage my time better.
Definitely, a to-do
So,
list is so it's necessary. So if I don't have a to-do list, you can feel overwhelmed because all these thoughts are just kind of going through your head, everything you have to do. But if you write it down, you feel like you have a little bit more control over it. So I'm able to kind of tackle the things one by one that I need to tackle. So a to-do
right,
list is a must for me,
okay,
not to be, chaotic,
right.
especially when organizing events, because you want to make sure that you have everything in order. So yeah.
Okay. Well, Marcella, does that help a little bit?
Yes, it does. It helps a great deal because I be pulling out my hair, but
Don't.
trying to do all of this. But what I do want to, I commend Raven on things that she's done. She's a remarkable person. One
Oh,
thing I
thank
do
you
want to
so
ask,
much.
I don't know if this being nosy, what are some of your contracts that you have? Some of the contracts that you have with
Being no,
um, I've worked with Avalon Hair Science, so that's a beauty contract. I've worked with that they have As I Am hair products, Brazilian blowout products, hair vitamins, things like that. I've had contracts with H&R Block, which was one of my longer contracts when I first started, which was with H&R Block. I've had contracts with larger companies like Walgreens or corporate companies working with Walgreens, their pharmacy and stores. With all of them, there have been event setup and event planning, trade shows, and that's what also kind of pulled me towards Urban Gym. If I can set up trade shows for someone up at Navy Pier, the Bulls stadium, then I certainly can do stuff like that for myself, So just want to work as hard for yourself as you work for someone else.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I heard you
Yeah.
had, but I didn't know. Oh great. I'm just so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
well, I admire how relaxed and comfortable you are in accomplishing so much,
Yes.
and that's this is big. Planning events to me is overwhelming because I always need a whole lot of help and I pretty much won't do it. So I think that is great when you can manage all of this and you talk about it just as if, oh, just another day at work. And I know that there's goes into this, because just with just with sitting down with someone and realize, for them to realize that they can only have this much happening because they only have this much space, and then talking about all the other things that they want. That's not a usually that might be the hardest part of it. Just sitting down and
Yeah.
getting them to what they should be doing or what they can do. So,
I thank you so
so
much. I really
yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah. So, and Clarence, you have any more for?
Well, I just thought it was ironic that she's an event planner, because my cousin is an event planner in New York, and her I think her main focus is on tourism,
Hmm.
planning events for people that are coming to New York to uh, either spend a weekend or spend a week, or they're coming to a show and they want to engage in some other entertainment, or they want to have a large party or whatever. And I know that in talking to her, she did tell me that uh, the pandemic uh,
Mm.
really hurt her, because obviously people weren't traveling, so
Hmm.
they weren't coming to New York or anywhere else for that matter.
Hmm.
And it and she wound up catching covers also, but she
Hmm.
got over it. But she was down for uh, I don't know, about 3 or 4 months.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Sorry to hear that.
yeah, discovering uh, what she does, I found it rather interesting, and I see Raven is heading in that direction. Have Are you going to branch out into uh, maybe trying to do events for people who are, once we start traveling again and people start coming to Chicago, because Chicago is a tourist attraction? Uh,
Definitely.
would that be part of what you would be looking to do from a expansion perspective?
I've never thought of it um from that perspective. It seems like that was her niche, and that's kind of the audience she targeted. So she focused on that widely. I haven't gotten that far where I'm thinking to focus on that. My next step is to expand. My next step is to expand with just creating more mobile pop-ups, especially as prom season arrives.
Mm-hmm.
I know that a lot of people won't have proms and graduations. So that's
Okay.
my next thing to expand in, because I need to be able to make sure those are available for those families, those high school students that still want to celebrate and have things like that, or weddings in their yard for next year and this year as well. After that, my next step is really to invest into continue with my brick and mortar, which is the 25,000 square foot facility that we were really pushing to have complete. So that would be my next step after that. I don't think that's a bad niche. I just think that maybe, I think you said it was your cousin. I think
Yeah.
maybe she mastered that and that's what she focused on,
Oh
which is
yeah.
a really good one. It's a
Yeah.
good one. And it's
Th-
really interesting, a really interesting perspective. And I think she mastered it, and and that's what she focused on, and she was able to really maneuver that. And I think that's going to come back for her really soon once everything picks
Yeah.
back up.
Yeah. Well, I do know that she works with a lot of uh, she works with a lot of uh, politicians and
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
community groups, and business connections who want to put on events for people that are coming in to either see their business or whatever, and they want to entertain them. So those types of things is what she gets, and that's all she does. So apparently she makes a pretty good living at it.
No, I'm sure that was a good market. She's kind of tapped into that specific market, and that was a really good market. That's a good way to go about it. I was just talking about how you have to have something that's unique to what you do, and that's unique to what she does. Right. So that's what makes her stand out from everyone else. But I think that was pretty good. That was a really cool one.
Well, Raven, I have a quick question. And as far as the brick and mortar, would you still be doing pop-ups? Because I'm sure it's going to be successful. Would you still be doing pop-ups? And kids are graduating now. Are you getting any inquiries in regards to doing a pop-up for some of these high school graduates? And with the brick and mortar, like I said, would you still be doing pop-ups? And what vision do you have for the brick and mortar, if you can speak on that? Oh, and also too, does your pop-up include like sporting type parties, sporting event type parties? I think
definitely
that too.
So definitely we have some of the teams are back together and practicing and getting ready for the season. So we do have a movie screen that you can add on to your event if that's something that you want to have. So if you look on the website and you click onto the window and you go all the way down, you'll see add-ons. You go a little bit further down, you'll see a movie option. So that is something that's an option, and that'll be great for sporting. The mobile pop-up. I think that we will continue to do it even when we have the brick and mortar location. I think that it's going to be very successful. It's not something that we originally thought of. And I guess COVID helped us out in that way. I don't know. But with pivoting to do the mobile pop-ups, I think that it's definitely an untapped market and that it will be successful, and we will continue to do that because it's no reason not to. There's no reason not to. With the brick and mortar, the facility that we're still looking at was our original facility. It's a lot of things that happen with it, but it looks like we may be back on track with it. It's three different event rooms. One is modern modesty. One is the over the top. We were looking at having a roof, how can I say this? An outdoor space, outdoor entertainment space, and maybe a rooftop deck on the space as well. So there'll be about maybe 4 spaces within the facility. And then we were also looking to have a wine room within a facility called SIP. So it's a really nice one. I really want to put it on the South Side in my community to help provide people with jobs in the community, to help provide commercial kitchens to other businesses that may need it. And we also are going to use the building to offer the youth possible cooking classes and things where we can kind of connect and interact and give back to the community. So the facility itself is an event facility, but I think it's a facility that will not only help feed my family, but feed the community. And I'm looking forward to that.
That's excellent.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Now, add on
back, right?
I can't hear you that well. I'm sorry. Say it again.
Oh, I was saying, is a photo booth one of the add-ons?
We've just recently put it as one of the add-ons because we do have photography, and it doesn't specifically say a photo booth, but we do offer photography and videography for your event.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this shameless plug for my photo booth. who happens to be a good friend and a coworker, Delisha,
Okay.
and great, great business. Great business. My girlfriend's photo booth. So look it up.
Okay. All right.
Now that was shameless, but that's Marcie.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
well, that's
earlier
okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
earlier
it's black owned. It's a great business. She has, I think, three of them, two of them or three of them. I have to ask her, and she's a great business person. Trust me. Yeah.
That's good. It's all about networking. I want to make sure that
Delisha
we
Barclay, Clarence. Delisha Barclay.
I know who you're talking about. See, I used to work with all of them, and
Okay.
in addition to just giving me the blues when I was their boss, uh, but
No, it's not.
they were good. They were good workers. But your brick and mortar facility, once you get that going, um, someone can come there and rent out a space in order to have their event. As
Yes.
a
So
yeah.
yeah. So we'll still have as she was stating, the pop-up mobile services where we'll come to you, but we'll also have a space available. And the space it's large, it's beautiful. If we open all the rooms up, it fits about 1,000 people, but it's broken up into indoors, fits 1,000 people. It's broken up into about 3 different rooms. Um, it's a beautiful space. It really is. And a lot of people have asked me why. I'm not going to say the location that I have it that I'm looking into, but why this location and why not this location? Why not put something this grand on the South Side in my community? Why not? So I'm really looking forward to it, and I think it's going to do great business. I really do.
Well, the one thing that I have found about businesses, I've never owned a brick and mortar business. I've had a couple home businesses that marketing businesses that I ran from my home, but with any business idea, it's your idea, and a lot of times you'll get people questioning, like the question you got. Well, why do you want to put it there? Well, you have a vision, and a lot of times people will try to knock you off your vision because they don't have one.
That's
So,
true.
so it's kind of like sometimes people just hate to see people be, especially us. We just hate to see people be successful. So we want to try and throw a wrench in it at all times. So as long as you stay focused, you'll be just fine. You know what you want to do, and that's all that matters.
Thank you.
Okay.
I forgot
And
I
Marcy's
was
got
muted.
Marcy's got plenty of money, so don't worry about that. If she call you, she got plenty of money. All that overtime she's working down there, I know she good. She can
Hey,
Well,
stay.
you gotta have some outside interest. You got to. Jobs are not gonna make you rich. Ideals and dreams will make you rich.
Well, thank you so much, Raven, for coming on with us. And I think you have a great business, and I wish you much success. And I know that I will definitely be looking into booking something with you
I
because
think so.
I have a couple of big events this year. I have retirement this year and the big 60th. So I need something, but I know, yeah, we're still kind of, limited on what we can do. But at least I know who I can go to
For
really set
sure.
something out really nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Gail,
Okay,
you talking about
everybody.
the town?
Yes. Yes. I'm finally there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, take Marcie with you. She needs to do something.
Okay, Clarence. Oh, I'll be following suit shortly behind her.
Well, again,
Oh,
thank
okay.
you for having me. I really appreciate it. The
Yes,
conversation, the
nice meeting you.
dialogue,
Yeah,
the
it was nice
networking.
meeting
It was great.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming. Thank you so much, Raven.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Have
So
a good
go ahead,
night.
Clarence. Hang
No, I
on.
was
Clarence.
no. I'll work it out a little better for next time. So I won't spend 20 minutes trying to get on.
That's okay. That's a common thing that can happen at any time because Facebook actually, it took me a while before it actually connected. I think it's because it's windy outside and it's knocking off my signal or something, but that can happen. So you're forgiven. We all
Oh,
go
okay.
through it.
All right. Well,
Okay, thank you everyone who tuned in for Shy Panther and Friends. And please come back and see us next week. We have another nice surprise for you. Same time, same day, all of that. And have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your neighbor. God bless. And good
okay.
Good night. God bless you too. Thank you.
Yeah.
night. All right.
Good
I'm
night.
gonna shut down. All right. Oh, hang on. Hang on.